And we'll go up here to the animations. Hey guys, just finished an amazing duel against my cousin, the best banded player that I know. I gotta show him to you. It tells you a lot of good things to learn. So this here, I opted to go second because if your deck only wins going first, it's not a good deck. Branded here, my cousin, is able to win going first and going second, so that is always equally impressive. Branded is on bottom, I am on top, so we're gonna go with the play-by-play by Branded the best I can. I know a bit of it, but not too much. Basically, Shroudion allows you to search for any card of your choice. So here you're just setting up your Believe Branded Fusion. Go for Albion. Albion is able to fusion off the grave. I only have one negate, and I figured the Albion is the best starter. Just like White Forest, if you hit Wusilago, you cannot double feuds. So with my one hand trap, that's the only thing I try to hit. Unfortunately, Bellion comes out of the graveyard as it was not used as material, allowing for Branded and Loss, which means every time a fusion happens, oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of advantage, lots of cards shifting around. It's a big priority target. So in my opening hand, I don't really have too many starters here. The only starter I have is technically Divine Temple, and I have to hope it's going to be enough. And we'll see. Quem grabs Cartesia. Cartesia comes to the field, grabs Albion. It's a main phase 3. This is the most powerful card, in my opinion. Well, at least the card that gives me the most trouble. It's the summoning of Light and Darkness Dragon. But how are the cards with me before I do my most powerful card, Diabellstar? Start off with the Temple. And this will force out the Light and Darkness Dragon, which Diabellstar is always able to walk over. Because Lad is an Omni Negate, but is a mandatory. Even if in attack position, Diabellstar will always be stronger. Because when Diabellstar is summoned, you're able to automatically sink the Light and Darkness Dragon. Now I had a choice here. I could have either used Diabellstar's effect to search for Sinful, and then use Curse of the Diabell to search for Philia. I technically should have done it the other way, but in this case, I grabbed Philia, protected Philia, just not wanted. And I actually should have grabbed Deception to the Sinful Spoils. It's a slight misplay there, but I thought Vengeance Dragon would be a bit more powerful. Grab Philia. Do not activate or will be negated. We have to give up the battle phase here, which is a little hard, because unfortunately I cannot clear the boards without punching. They all come back with the Monster Reborn tech. So go Philia here. Philia grabs Vengeance. Vengeance Dragon, who I thought would be more beneficial, comes to the field. I'm gonna pop Branded Lost, as I know that's pure advantage. Grab Busilla to try to search a card. Just for follow-up, as the hand is not that great. Cordis is able to sink me to 0. I'm actually going to speed up a little bit. No, we'll keep it at normal speed so you guys can follow along. Sylvie is going to grab Talds. We're going to sink into our 12, I want to say. Yeah, Snake Eye Vengeance Dragon. Now here, I technically should not have pushed Quem. I think I should have pushed Albaz here. I was just thinking Quem's effect was going to trigger. So I send Quem to the back row. Activate Elzet, send away Temple. Search Azamina Elzet, sink for my Diabellstar the Witch the White Forest. This card allows me to get back Ashes. I'm still 50-50 on if this card is good. I'm trying it out. I'm torn. I'm torn there. I mean, I guess the other choice to pick up here would have been Tails, but I don't think I use Ash. I think I end up wasting it. Go for IP. This allows me to summon my card back. Go into Salvera, force the field face down. Though technically here, this is a misplay. None of these cards interact with me, and there's no reason for me to push down. do not push in this row. Basically, if you're going to go into your Snake Eye combo, you want to picture, what am I going to push in the back row? I have played a bit of Snake Eye, but not too much of it. I thought I could push face down position monsters into the spell and trap zone. I didn't realize they had to be face up. So I force them face down, which is a mistake on my end. I now go LSS to go Ash. Ash grab Poplar. Poplar comes to the field. Now I have already used Temple, so I cannot search for Temple. I send both away for Flameburge, and I think I also misplayed here too. I could have just sent the Vengeance Dragon, and then set Vengeance Dragon to the back row, which I didn't do. I didn't realize Flameburge had to be face up, so I tried to fix it. Tried to go be a Bellstar. I don't have a Battle Phase. If I did, it would have been better, but I guess in this case, this was also a misplay. I should have summoned Diabellstar, set Poplar in the back, because Poplar hasn't used its second effect. Then when I summon Snake Eye Doom Dragon, Poplar comes back to the field. Misplay on my end. Also, I could have pushed another card face down. If I would have left this Cordis face up, Cordis would have been in the back row. No reason for me to Nightmare Cerberus here. I still think that since IP is pointing to Phoenix, I get the draw. I do not. I need to remember this. So that is just a very, very bad effect. Very bad use of my personal effect. Summon back Poplar, summon back Ash. The reason we're on Nightmare in this way is so that we can get our Foolish Burial. And that's what I'm saying. Right here, I have already used Vengeance Dragon as material. If I was going to use Vengeance Dragon anyways, I could have just sent it with Flameburge. So always try to keep in mind, if you're going for a Link, remember who you're pushing for. Curious, the Lightsworn, basically lets you mill any card from your deck. It's a Foolish Burial. And it's going to basically turn that Foolish Burial into a Monster Reborn. So now, with both my Fiends, you can go into Abao. Abao is Monster Reborn on legs. She can discard any card to summon a Light or Dark from your graveyard, and most of your deck is Light and Darkness. So for the most part, that is everything. Summon back a Stellar's Effect, summon out Lucilla, sync both, go into SP. I don't know where I banish here. Yeah, Cordis. Like, that banish could have been something else. Like, again, if Cordis was in the back row, I could have easily had banished Branded and Lost, or better yet, banish Branded Banishment. Or even Quem. I don't know why I didn't banish Quem. I should have banished Quem, honestly. Why did I banish Cordis here? It's okay. It happens. It was a scary monster. It looked scary. It looked very scary, okay? Very scary. The reason you have to summon your Lucilla early, you need a card in hand for Bow in order to disappear. So we're going to send her off the field, summon out Diabellstar, whose effect will trigger when summoned, so that's kind of nice. This allows you to just set up for next turn. Speaking of setting up, we get to see the effect of Albion. Summon Albads. Albad is going to fuse, or attempt to fuse. I'm going to pop him off the field. Hope there's not an Albaz in hand. Ogre is going to send me to the graveyard. I'm going to chain to bring back my Diabellstar. Now, the reason you do this, Vengeance Dragon is going to summon a card from your extra deck, and you want to ensure you have the card in the extra deck. So I need to actually ensure I have the means to fusion here. So summon Salvera. I'm not sure if Salvera was the white pick. I actually should have gone for Poplar of the White Forest. Looking at this board state, I should have gone Poplar. I could have gone Poplar, at least set my 2 White Forests as spell and trap cards. I know one of the ones you can actually win is like Supreme King Lightning Guy. He's like a level 11. If you had that card, you can go Poplar and Diabellstar into the 11 in order to pop the field or pop the back row. And I guess that would have been a bit more helpful. And if you want to drop a card, you could drop Salamangreat Great Wolf. You don't technically need Wolf. I'm still learning the Snake Eyes combo that I'm trying to practice here. It's just trial and error, but I think you can drop Salamangreat Wolf for the level 11, because that would have really helped, especially if I went for Poplar instead of Salvera. but not in the deck. So we go for Branded Fusion. I have to hope there's not another Albion, but there is. It's in hand, so well played to my opponent for holding on to it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how these effect works. I know a bit of it, but not too much. So unfortunately, at this point, I have no interruption. So we get to see a branded player cook. So you go Albion, banish Tachyon, banish Albaz, Fusion Summon, Sirenier's effect. It gets to return any card banished, which is Albion, and itself, to summon Mirror Jade. Quem can come into the field since Albaz is in the graveyard, and will fuse with Lebellion to make Masquerade Dragon Taxation. Anytime I do anything, I have to pay life points, which is not looking good when your life points are 2k. So you might be tempted to summon Diabellstar here. Don't do it. You don't have the life points, and it's not worth. During the end phase, all the cards come back. Bow comes back. IP comes back. So I know what you're thinking. Why is Mr. Woogie in here? I'll show you the deck list after, but trust me, it does work. Let me cook, okay? I unfortunately am not allowed to activate it because my cousin here correctly is able to negate it. But trust the process. It's so you can pop boards like this. It's so you can push through lethal where otherwise you don't have it. Think of Miscuri Prayers as your Typhon. So this negates everything on field. And I guess, technically, I did misplay. I mean, I did see him add this. I guess I could have led with Prayers, and then do Deception to the Sinful Spoils last. So that way it is face down by the time it activates. But I think it still works, because I think I pop Mirror Jade regardless. Yeah, because I don't think there was a reason to bow there. I think it would have been better if I just attacked. Oh well, hindsight's 2020. In the moment, I thought it was a better play. Negates bow. Banish bow. Quick effect pop. And now I still get to keep my Deception alive. Triggers LZ since I discarded a spell card. And Despia is going to now negate my Vengeance Dragon. Deception, Tribute, grab Hollowed. Maybe I need a Soul. I think Soul would have actually been helpful here too. Let's just send a card to grave. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I know why I did the field spell. I thought it had no other play, but looking at it, I guess I had another play. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get protection against Mirror Jade, because we have to remember Mirror Jade is about to pop. Yeah, I don't... yeah, I guess. I guess I forgot about this one. I'm not gonna lie, part of it is some of these cards are new, at least to me. I forgot that this card could be summoned from Graveyard, and it's still a Synchro Negate. So it is able to skillfully stop the adding of Mr. Yugi, which would have wiped the field. Would Soul have been better? I guess, because Soul would have been out before him. Yeah, could be something with the deck building. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. But for the most part, this deck is fairly consistent. At this point, I'm just fishing for a miracle. And 1-for-1 is not it. If this was Bonfire or Set the Mouse, it would have been a little bit... No, Bonfire would not work, because I've already used Poplar. And now this here is probably my biggest misplay. And this is just one. I should have popped Masquerade with Vengeance Dragon. I forgot that Vengeance Dragon could summon Salvera the Wolf Tamer. Salvera would have flipped the field face down and we still would have had another turn in the game. So some light misplays, but overall still an extraordinarily good match. So I was going second, and now this is going first. I'll play it from my end. Granted, I do end up a little... I messed up a little bit. I'm still comboing, I'm still labbing. But, there is something here. Like, I could tell there is something here. So here, I should have just started with 1-for-1. That's gonna be my biggest mistake. I should have just led with this. I was trying to play around Nibiru, Imperm, and all that, and I shot myself in the foot by being too careful. That's part of my problem, is I play very conservatively. I don't try to, like, throw my entire field out there. So basically, this is just basic White Forest. You go Wusilla, Wusilla goes into Diabel's the White Witch. Diabel's pick up your spell card that was lost, which is Ritual. Unfortunately, it's not Prayers. Prayers would have been amazing here. Scourge, I'm just on as a negate, and I summon Poplar here. So this is going to be very important. Poplar cannot be summoned unless it's fusion summoned. I think Poplar can only be synchroed. I don't think Poplar could be cheated out. And we'll find that out the hard way. Here, I don't think Doom Eyes Dragon was the play. I think I should have just gone 1-for-1 first. I could have just easily pushed Magma Butt back with Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. Like I said, I'm still labbing. It's one of those things that does work because Diabell Star can get you the entire engine. But in this case, I am prioritizing trying to keep Poplar in the Spell and Trap zone to synchro on my opponent's turn. I'm going to find out that doesn't work. I learned my lesson from the first duel. The first duel, I wasted the Nightmare Cerberus to pop the Magmut, or the Quem, so this time I don't even pop it. But yeah, this is the end board. It's not that good as it could have been, but still learning. But for what I have, our branded player here is still able to play through about 3-4 negates. So I'm going to negate with Baron, and I know what you're saying. What? Baron was wasted! And no, it's because Baron can tag out. So Baron now tags out. I summon, and the reason I have to summon Magma Butt here, it did not give me the option to summon Poplar. I don't know what is wrong with it. Flamebird was able to target Poplar, able to target Ash, and able to target Magmut, but was not able to target Poplar. And I don't know the reasoning behind it. So my only guess is Poplar has to be synchro summoned. You can't special summon it any other way. So keep that in mind if you're ever trying to go for a push. And what's kind of cool here is that this card can just eat my card. It just straight up eats all dragons on the field. So that's kind of fun. Always a surprise. Send away Poplar since it was wasted. And here I was hoping they didn't have a way to get into branded fusion. Because I know that this card, if left uninterrupted, will summon Aluber, and Aluber would just grab branded. So I'm just hoping that Aluber is not in hand. Obviously I can't see the hand. They have the Aluber anyways, unfortunately. So go for the IP Masquerena. IP go into SP. And here, I'm trying to stop Light and Darkness Dragon from hitting the field, so that's why we banish Lebellion. Because there's not much else you could banish that's gonna really do too much here. And also, this dragon can also attack multiple times, so I'm like, oh, lovely. So very low life points again. Masquerade Taxids. And this one was a very, 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 very hard decision. I pay 600 life points So what just happened here is Bow, you draw a card for every monster in your graveyard. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 monsters. So I draw a hand of 11, and I then have to return cards from my hand to the deck until I'm down to the original starting hand of 3. Here, I should have just kept Diabel's, Pre-Prep, and Elzette. I did not do that. I was fearful of a Light and Darkness Dragon, and Diabellstar was not the proper choice. This one was not the card I should have gone for. Luckily, I'm able to push it back with Doom Dragon here. Cartiez is able to fusion away with it, summon the Light and Darkness Dragon. Oh no, Chimera. Light and Darkness comes out next. So here is branded. I mean, I guess there's technically an argument if I banish this one with SP. What exactly does this one say? Target a level 8 fusion in your graveyard, summon it, then fusion summon by banishing material from either field. No, it's just any level 8. It doesn't really matter, because it would have worked the same way with Masquerade Blazing Dragon. So no, that still would have been the same. At least it stops Branded Lost from getting played. So there's Lad. Now here I was debating if I wanted to summon Diabellstar or if I wanted to summon from Grave. And since I don't summon Diabellstar here, I picked her up to play around Light and Darkness Dragon. If I'm not summoning Diabell here, this is a misplay. I should have just grabbed Diabellzy, which is her sister. Because I could have just, I did that effect, it was negated, walk over it. Now Bow's negated. So she can't tag out during the main phase 2. We now go pre-prep here. And I guess here, I didn't realize this was a negate, but I guess I really needed Mr. Yugi to actually trigger here. Misplay on my end. I should have gone Deception, Tribute Diabellstar, summon out Salvera to give me an Omni Negate to protect my Mr. Yugi line, if my plan is to write the field. So misplay on my end there. Like, part of this is just learning the matchup and learning the new cards. But Retribution, I did not realize can stop a search effect. It also destroys the card entirely, so that's really, really good. Bad for me. But the other reason why you're on Mr. Wiggy before you guys are like, why is this? Deception. If a card is tributed, you can literally use the second effect of if this card is tributed as a Mikazuki card from deck to hand. So I could have gone Deception, Tribute Habakawi in order to search out the Mukago. And since I have Mirror in hand already, I can tribute the Harakabi in grave as cost. So just small things that I can still improve on, because I don't even use Mirror here. Now I finally use, and I don't even have the Hollowed, because Hollowed's in the graveyard. So had I actually looked at the graveyard, I could have grabbed here instead of Elzette. I could have grabbed... Oh no, she's banished, that's why. I could have grabbed Elzette Azumina. I have to remember where she was banished from. So unfortunately, that's the end of my turn, because I just misplayed the end line there, and it's unfortunate, but it does happen. But overall, it's still a really good duel. I feel this was still winnable. I just had to change a bit of my plays. White Force is a very complicated deck, but it's still one that is very, 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 very fun, and I do recommend it. So that's how it loses, but I know you're saying, well, why play this deck? That's for this reason right here. Let me show you this replay. If I go here, so there are 2 reasons to play this deck. This is number 1. Monarchs. If your hand is ripped out of your hand and you lose everything you own, you lose custody of all your cards, most players will be like, that's the end of the game. But not in this case. So we're gonna actually speed up. We're gonna let the Monarch player play it out. So all you need to know is this is the reason why you're on Snake Eyes and why you're on Mr. Woogie. It's to give you playthrough to decks you otherwise would have lost to. People are always like hyper consistent. you can extend your starters to be 18 to 20, even 21, and you'll always see a starter with the same amount of odds. So they're able to whip 8 cards out of my extra deck, which is crazy. And they're able to do it twice. So they summon their monarchs. At this point, they're going to whip a card at random from my hand, so I just summon Nibiru. The only card I need, pre-prep. Unfortunately, it is 25% and they do hit it. It happens. So now they whip the other 8 cards. And like that, I have nothing. But I do have Sinful Spoils. The top deck is Bonfire. So we're going to go Bonfire, Ash. Ash grab Poplar. Poplar grabs Temple. Temple is going to set Diabellstar Vengeance in the back row. They're going to tribute on my turn, which is crazy. They now get to summon 2 more times and search for any card of their choice. I'm now going to summon Diabellstar Vengeance since they summoned, but they MST my field, popping both cards. Send both away, summon out Snake Eyes Doom Dragon to reset Diabellstar. Diabellstar is going to summon itself, setting Poplar. I'm going to target my Synchro to summon during the battle phase. I'm now going to use Sinful, send away. I'm now going to return the Hollowed from my graveyard into the extra deck to summon it, after a Vengeance, of course. Boost all my 3 Diabellstars by 500 to contest. Then we turn. You also could have grabbed Sylvie if you wanted the Omni Negate. I wanted the extra search. But yeah, this deck can play through having no extra deck, and the opponent is the one that decked out of time. I know what you're saying, but time, isn't that a factor? Yes and no. Because this right here is an example of what this deck is trying to do and why my build is just, it's just crazy. So right here, this is full combo if they have no interruption. And so we're baiting out Ash, we're baiting out Maxi, we're baiting out everything. We start with Pre-Pep. Pre-Pep, activate Hamakiri. Habakiri, summon, grab your ritual spell, send both purple and white, summons Habakiri. Habakiri, purple, will grab back the spell card, white will grab you red. You're going to use the spell card to have black eat red. Now, from here, you're going to search for prayers. You're going to ritual, sacrifice blue for red. And now you have reborn targets. Grab yourself purification so you have an Omni Negate. You're also protected from Nibiru, because if they try to Nibiru you, you're able to continue plays because you get to search a card. Sync both into Wisilla. Wisilla, send away prayers. Adds Elzet, set, summon Elzet. Elzet and her, grab back prayers. Grab yourself Deception, Deception, Tribute, grab, activate, Synchro. Lucilago, you're able to search for any card. I search for OSS, I think. No, I don't. I search for Wanted. Baron de Flor for protection. Send that away. Grab yourself Vengeance Dragon. Or Diabellstar, either one. Summon Sylvie. Search. Sync both into IP. Send away. Send away Curse. Curse, grab Philia. Send both away into Nightmare Phoenix. Your reason you're on Phoenix, the reason we're on Phoenix is so that you can do Phoenix and IP into a bow. You're really not using IP for the summon, but sometimes it's nice. Like if you're forced to end on an IP, you can go IP SP. But she is by no means needed. She is just a flex slot. Summon back Silvera. And what is this board? This board, you have a pop or a reborn with a bow. You have a negate with Sylvie, a negate with Baron, a negate with a pop with Vengeance, a push with Vengeance, a return with Vengeance. You have wipe the field, Habakiri. You have make the opponent discard a card, Habakiri. You have Mitsuguri, which is an Omni negate for 9. You have Nibiru as 10. And I believe you can also do an 11th if you bring back Poplar. So you have 11 disruptions. So no matter what they do, you just say no. And yes, I had a minute left, so I had enough time to read my opponent cards if needed. So that way we have 2 Diabellstars. On summon, wipe the field. Pop the back row. Summon out Poplar. Poplar Synchro. Negate the summon. Vengeance. Vengeance, push it back. Now you will lose a bow in this, but it's fine. Because you also have enough damage on board for lethal. So, yeah. That is really what the deck is trying to do, and here is the deck list that I'm currently working on. But, let me know if you guys have any suggestions on how to improve this deck in the comments. I would love to hear it. So what we basically have is a bunch of starters. So your hand trap lineup is generic. It's Veiler. It could be searched off of Lucilla. Dual Lockbird, it stops every other deck. Maxi, obviously. 1 Perulia, 1 Fularos. I don't like multiple. Every time I try multiple, it doesn't work for me. It's just my personal luck. I do not enjoy it. 3 Nibiru. This is the best hand trap right now with the loss of Appaloosa. You have the 1 Call by the Grave, and then you have the 1 Cross Out Designator. As for starters, you have Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye Poplar, you have Esteller, you have Elzette, you have Azamina Elzette, who's not really a starter, she's a 2-card starter. You have Sylvie, you have Makonko, you have all of the Diabellstars. Diabellstar is full combo. I'm not sure about her sister. I have yet to actually summon this card in a duel. I don't know if I actually want to get this one in the list or not. You need the 2 dragons. The 1 Vengeance is 100% needed. And then, of course, the Habakiri is itself a 1-card combo. I do not own any more copies. If I did, that'd be amazing. But we do not. So if I did as well, I think I could also do... I think it's... View? Yeah, so this here too. We have Prepep as a starter, Bonfire as a starter, OSS as a half starter. It is Divine Temple as a half starter, Witch of the White Forest as a half starter. You have Prayers as a half starter, and the reason you're on 3 Deception, if you draw any of the fusions, any of the rituals, you can eat the ritual, you can eat these ones, and you always want to try to get into Wusilago. If you're fighting this deck, always stop Wusilago. Like, this is the Ash target. But outside of this, it's really straightforward. The most flex slot I have is Starlight Wolf. He's not technically needed in all the duels I played. I've always summoned Sylvie, always summoned Usago, always summoned Doom Dragon. It's how you get a bow on the field. Poplar gets you Vengeance. You need the White Forest cards. You have Baron as your Omni. Phoenix is how you get a bow. This card is essentially how you're getting to White Forest off of just Snake Eyes. If you can get Poplar in rotation, this will put Sylvie in the grave, or it will put Esteller in grave. And then you tag out into a bow after her. So basically you do Doomfire Dragon, plus Poplar, plus Nightmare Phoenix, or any other fire type. Most of the time, I'm using Diabellstar Vengeance Dragon, so you do Diabellstar, you do Snake Eyes, and then you do Ash, and then those are the abilities to get you this card, and then you end on Phoenix into a bow, or you have to use Phoenix for a bow, or at least for cross here. IP Masquerena is what I link with first. It's how I get the areas. If you don't have her, you can also do Cross Sheep. I tried Cross Sheep, but I also do like being able to just banish with SP. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on the list, please let me know. Bye!